Welcome in, TK Podcast, another episode. Gonna be a short one today because there just isn't a lot of important stuff to talk about. That's probably not how you should open up a podcast. Hey, everybody listening, spending their time on consuming this content. It's not gonna be that great. It's not what I'm trying to say. I just don't have as much great stuff to talk about today, so it'll be shorter. I'm not gonna fluff it. I was gonna say training was going well. Training is going end of sentence. I have heard of uh the conversation and the dark places that some of the professional CrossFit athletes get to, not just professional CrossFit athletes, but any athlete that's in the I think Olympic athletes get to this spot too. Um, they come around to this one competition that's so big every 4 years for the CrossFit athletes. There's one big competition for the pros that lasts, 4 or 5 days every year. They don't have this season of 12 or 15 or 18 weeks. Baseball goes from March to October, you know? It's this buildup all year long, all this training, all of this peaking for a very finite amount of time. And when you do that, uh, it can start to get pretty grindy. Absolutely would not have it any other way. I in a way love what I'm doing right now. And I'm referencing the sort of 5 to 6 week period I'm in right now between when we just qualified for the semifinals and when the semifinal in affiliate, weekend will kick off from Thursday through Sunday. I believe it's May 1st through 4th. So we are 1 month from now, we'll be in the middle of that weekend. And who knows how many opportunities I will get at this. Who knows if this will be the structure next year. If it's the same structure next year, I feel pretty confident about making it again. I feel pretty confident about making it for the next couple of years and continuing to get better, or at least maintaining where I'm at currently, and maybe bringing up the floor on some of my weaknesses. And I can probably hang out in that top 1% of the CrossFit world every year for the next few years, probably until I'm 35 and I'm technically considered a master's athlete, in which then it won't be quite as hard to make the top 1%. That is, of course, if I continue to have the fire to do this and the motive, like if I care about competing. Who knows if I will or not. But for now, the idea is I need to squeeze every ounce of this current opportunity that I do have, because who knows? Maybe I get hurt. Bury the lead there on a little fun tidbit in a couple minutes here that I'll tell you about from today's training. Maybe the second kid comes in, 7 weeks, and all of a sudden I'm like, you know what? We're gonna hang up the competitive stuff for a while. Never gonna stop working out. Still gonna do CrossFit, but I'm gonna move from training to more of exercising for a while, philosophically, and I don't care so much. Maybe it goes away. I don't know. So for now and the current time, I have this opportunity to be a semifinals athlete at least once, and it would be dumb to not milk every second of that. It would be tough to get through that weekend in a month and feel like I left something on the table. I didn't give these 6 weeks the attention they deserved. I didn't put a forth my best effort. I didn't have my best product when it came to this semifinals weekend. I wanna go out knowing that if this is the only time I do it, I did it, and it was everything I had. Great. We're doing that. The product of that is it is a grind. Every day has a little bit more intentionality. Every day is a little bit more competitive within the group of people that I train with, or at least I know the times of. The pieces are a little bit more intentional. They're all they all just have a little bit more. It's like the playoffs. Football, NFL comes around, or the new 12-team football playoff for college, or the tournament time, which is relevant right now. You can just feel that it means a little bit more. You can feel it every day. And that not only takes a toll physically, as everything has, we're not just training for the open anymore. We're training for big boy heavy weights, lots of gymnastics, high power output, sprinting, all this different stuff. Running has been added back in. I've ran three significant running sessions in the last 8 days. Um, so it's harder physically, which makes it harder mentally. And the load just continues to build. It's hard to deal with and it wears on you. And maybe I've talked myself into the answer to the question that I was going to pose here. And that was, I actually had my worst training day that I've ever had since I started. Other than a day where I woke up and my body was just telling me no. And I was like, okay, clearly today's an off day. And those come around every once in a while, maybe once a quarter. I woke up yesterday feeling fine. Tuesday, more of a cardio based day. Monday was we lifted some weights, but nothing was heavy. I wasn't super sore. I wasn't super beat up. I got decent sleep Monday night. And yesterday, I just could not get it going. I tried 2 pieces in the morning. I quit both of them. There's like a cardio piece with rowing, and I tried to add in a little bit of like burpees and toes to bar. Like, just I got 5 minutes into it. What was supposed to be a 20-minute piece. Said no. I got 5 minutes into a 15-minute AMRAP with shuttle runs and some handstand walking and some sandbag cleans, and I was no, just don't have I didn't have the juice. I didn't have it, and I wasn't even close, to the point where continuing to do those pieces was not getting me anything. I wasn't going to push to I'm not even sure I was capable of pushing to the level at which I needed to get the stimulus that my body needed to get better. And because of that, mentally, as an older athlete now at 30, going on 31, I realize it's probably better for me to just rest, not worry about getting this piece in, making it perfect, making it feel like I did something, putting my body in a further hole physically, and I can come back and maybe hit a piece this afternoon, because Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday are all double days right now. So came back in the afternoon yesterday. I did hit like a nice little 4K run as a warm up, and then tried to do another piece. And again, couldn't get it going. Just didn't happen. And just the worst day. Not even something I can really come up with. So maybe yesterday was just one of those days where subconsciously my body was telling me, hey, we just need to like not do anything today. It's essentially what ended up happening. Um, Today felt very similar to the start of yesterday, but today we got our morning session in. It was good. Had a little grease the groove warm up. You're hitting some actual movements that matter. Some echo bikes, some ring muscle ups, some high box jumps, just to kind of nothing at too high of an intensity. Just a simple EMOM, easy. Jammed my knee, missed full body weight down on my knee, shin area, right into the box, the hard box, which, by the way, I just got new equipment. Maybe we'll talk about that. I was going to add a soft box to that equipment list because a soft box is nice. It's like twice the price of like a hard, plywood, um, plyometric box, but it's more forgiving, especially if you happen to fall. I'd never fall. Today I fell, fucking screaming in my garage. People thought I was probably getting murdered. And yesterday I would have been like, okay, I'm done. I'm going inside. Today it almost fired me up. I was in the middle of my first piece of 3 in the morning, just like a kind of a warm out, instead of a workout. It was a warm-up workout combined, and then I went into a push press piece, a little lifting piece, and then I went into running a 4 by 8, 4 by 8, 4 by 800 meters with 4 minutes rest between. Finished the workout, felt good, got good work in, was able to actually hit those 2 pieces well. So, you know, we're counting today as a win, but last couple days we've been in the mud, and that's kind of how it's been like weather wise too. It's been like 40 to 50 degrees, windy, rainy, um, just not a lot of sunshine, but you got to push through. Uh, it is very clear by how I feel now, knowing how I will feel in 4 weeks as the taper will feel nice. The week we enter that weekend, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, the taper for those 3 days is going to feel amazing. Body will need it, mind will need it. We'll push really hard for that weekend, and then after that weekend, I am going to need a break. I'm gonna need a break, and we talked about that, but that's okay. Um, y- life goes in seasons, and we're in it right now. We'll get to rest later. It's only a month out, and I still love a large part of it. Um, it's funny. Yesterday, again, no big topic today. We're gonna wrap this up here in a second, but I kind of told my wife about it, and I was like, "Man, I'm having the worst training day. I just do not feel it today. I can't even describe it. It's weird. I don't know what's going on. I just can't get it going." And and I kind of said, like, you know what? At this point, it was sometime in the afternoon. I just want you and little girl to be home, and I just want to cuddle on the couch all night. That's all I want to do. And it was, and then that happened. They came home. We sat on the couch, watched some TV, before dinner in the afternoon, and I was like, "This is all that matters. This is all that matters." I literally don't care if I had a good training day because what matters the most to me by far, past having like a good training day and knowing I got better today. I'm going to, this will help me get a little bit higher in the semifinal rankings, was getting to spend time, love on my two girls, see happiness and joy on my daughter's face, play with her, see her learn new things, continue to grow up. Be like, it's just, it's such a small part, the workout, the exercise stuff in the grand scheme of my life, and the perspective that my daughter gives me now is, it's so evident, and it's awesome. I love it. Um, like for example, we this past weekend, Costco got us again, and we bought a play set. Like, they have a play set marked down, good deal. You know, you got to build the thing, and went to get it while she was napping, and I came back and I got home and the wife had told her where I was. Daddy's going to pick up a play set, a swing set for the backyard. And all she relates that to is a park. Like if she sees a play set or a swing set in somebody's yard, she calls it a park because she just knows that is the park. It's a slide, it's got swings, that's the park. So we get home and she opens the garage door. They were tracking my location. And she goes, "Daddy, you got a park." And, like, the joy in her face, you know? It's just one of those moments where you're like, "Okay, I don't even care. I'll be fat and lazy for all it matters, as long as she's happy." It's literally all that matters. So, that's the stuff that I'm kinda going through day to day. It's good motivation too. Um, as far as some other stuff goes, the Pokemon run is going well. We're 6 badges in, 5 or 6 badges in, I think, uh, on Pokemon Emerald, working our way through. Gonna get to the Elite Four here sooner or later. Gonna try and catch all the legendaries. There's a lot of them in Gen 3 for anyone who's caught up on Pokemon. That would be Ruby, Sapphire, and Emerald, and then of course Leaf Green and Fire Red, which are the remakes of Gen 1. The Hoenn region of Gen 3 in Pokemon is I think the biggest region. It's huge. I haven't played some of the newer games, so that could be wrong, but it is massive, and the storyline's great. You can catch a ton of legendary Pokemon. Emerald is sort of the crossover game. So if you pick Ruby or Sapphire, you kind of only can get one Pokemon here, one Pokemon there. Emerald, you can get all of them. I know, very nerdy stuff if you've never played or heard about this. But that's one of my childhood like staples was Pokemon. and I've continued to play it for the last basically 20 plus years. Um, so that's been going great. Spending like an hour every day slash night before I go to bed, just playing some Pokemon. It's amazing that you can just play these games on your phone for free. Technology in the modern day is the best thing ever. And then disc golf. I was gonna play disc golf last Friday. It was 80 degrees, boys and girls. But the wind for the first, especially for the first round of the year, you just want to go out. You want to see the discs fly somewhat close to what you think they're gonna do. Have a little fun, right? Get into it, get a little feel for the game in the new year. And there was no way that that was happening. I was not going to be able to do that in the slightest. The discs would have flown all over hell. There was like 40 to 50 mile per hour gusts of wind, trash cans blowing all over the neighborhood. Like it was ridiculous. So I actually ended up spending time cleaning the house for like an hour and a half instead of disc golfing. So it was a much more productive day as far as the entirety of the family, the homestead goes. But yeah, had to postpone that first round all the way till, if I go this Friday, which I don't know if I'm going to be able to. I've got something Friday afternoon, maybe a couple things Friday afternoon. We'll see. We're into April. Haven't played disc golf yet, and it's April. So that's basically, that's how Iowa goes. I'm gonna save the one last bullet point I have for its own episode because I think it actually deserves it. We can maybe talk about some of that next week. For now, I don't know. There's no large update. It's just enjoy the little things. Don't get too caught up. I know I put a lot of time into this CrossFit stuff, and it seems like my whole world at times. But the daughter thing, the perspective, being a parent, everybody has something like that, and it's good to just enjoy life. So good talking to you on this Wednesday. We'll talk next week.